Due to the high amount of requests for our old walk and talk conversations, here we are doing a nice walk and talk out here in the closest that I have to being a forest, which is the desert here in Arizona. This brings back wonderful memories, as the last time that I was here, my brother was about 6 and decided to sit down while peeing near a cactus, a jumping cholla to be specific, and got about 1,000 of those needles in his butt cheeks. It took my mom about a day and a half to remove all these pickers from his butt. Today's video is going to be based upon the Bible verse, "Do not judge based upon appearances, but judge righteous judgment." Now, what does that mean? If we break down the way that manifestation works, we talked about in the last couple videos that states that I occupy are what I experience without me or outside of me. And with that same logic, if I am judging upon what I am seeing, I am occupying the same state that created what it is that I'm experiencing. So then, to judge, good morning, to judge righteously then would mean to judge based upon the inner man, or what I would love to see. So that means if I'm currently seeing my SP, it means that I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness, the consciousness of being, the void. When I recognize I am the awareness or the consciousness or the void, I then have the opportunity to choose what meaning I give emotions, what meaning I give thoughts, what I choose to identify with. The key to this, though, is I must realize that I am not my thoughts. I trust many of you have meditated or done sats, and while in that state, you had very little thought, and yet you were super aware. Now, that awareness exists without your thoughts, but your thoughts do not exist without that awareness. So this is what Neville meant by, before you say I am anything, I am. Before Abraham, I am. Before Joseph, I am. You see, Joseph, or whatever it is that your name is relevant to you, obviously, came after I am existed. Meaning, you were aware of being before you were aware of being something. So you must realize that the issue is not with the outside. It never has been. The outside is a mirror showing you who you are in secret. It is showing you what you are identified with within. So in essence, you could remove identification to any unloving thoughts, unfulfilling thoughts, fear-based thoughts, worry-based thoughts, limitation-based thoughts, and you would manifest way more ideally and very quickly. I shared in one of my videos a while back that I noticed the more and more that I disidentify from thoughts that don't serve me or align with who I desire to be, the more that naturally and automatically things that I love manifest in my life. And the reason behind this is because when I identify with fearful thoughts, when I identify with SP acting this way, when I identify with possible problems, when I identify with my emotions are bad, they mean this, they're messing up my manifestation. The emotion does nothing. It is the identification that this emotion does something that causes the issue outside of you. I really want to drive this home because this took me a very long time to understand, and I'm hoping I can save you time and trouble. It is not the emotion that is problematic. It is the unconscious identification that the emotion is problematic, messing up your manifestation, doing X, Y, and Z. That's what causes outside of you what you don't want to experience. So this is all about identification. You are the awareness. You are God experiencing states. You experience states by attaching who you say you are to the states. Now, the quickest and easiest way to attach yourself to a state is to feel the wish fulfilled. Hence why Neville shared it so often that that's all you need to do. Deny the evidence of your senses and feel the wish fulfilled. You may say, well, Joseph, I have all these intrusive thoughts come up. I have all these emotions come up. Yes, of course. This is part of the process. This is why there is experiences outside of you that you want to change ideally. But it all starts with you. You have all the power. There may be untrue beliefs that you are identified with that tells you that you can only think the way that you're feeling, or you can only think based upon what you're seeing. But I am proof, and many others are proof, that that is not the case. So what do we do then? When these untrue thoughts come up, remove your attention from them, acknowledge that the thought came up, and allow it to pass. When an emotion comes up, allow the emotion to come up, realize it's only energy in motion, and in fact say, I accept you and I allow you to be here. I hear a bunch of, what? I got a question. No, this does not mess up your manifestation. When you accept something, or when you allow something to be, in fact, what you do is you are removing it from existence because you no longer fear it or resist it. You'll notice in life, the more you resist the thought, what happens? You keep thinking that thought more and more. When you resist an emotion, what happens? You experience that emotion more and more. In life, when you're, I don't want this to happen, what happens? You experience the same thing. Because your very resistance to it is a misunderstanding of the law, and it is giving power to something that you don't want to experience. So we don't not allow ourselves to think thoughts out of fear or worry. It's an understanding of who you are. It is for love of the state that you're choosing, that you love to experience. So back to emotions, when they come up, remove the unconscious automatic suggestion that the emotion is problematic. It is not. It is energy in motion. When a thought comes up that says that, oh, this is for sure what's happening, remove identification to the thought patterns. You'll notice when you do this, what automatic thoughts come to you after you disidentify from that thought that just came to you is you will be thinking thoughts in harmony with the vision, how much your SP loves you, how you have the most amazing relationship, how you love them. Notice it is truth-based thoughts, love-based thoughts. And why did this happen? Because you disidentified from the untrue thoughts and emotions. So you will notice also, it's way easier for you to feel the wish fulfilled when you don't have emotional turmoil. Oftentimes, and this still happens to me now, if I have some emotion that I am not consciously observing and allowing to be, what's happening is subconsciously, it's giving it a meaning that doesn't serve me. So when I go to feel like I'm in a loving relationship, it's diluted because I'm still feeling part of this unconscious identification to a different state. So before you go into prayer, before you feel the wish fulfilled, scan your body. Is there any tension? Is there any emotions? They are not problematic. They are simply energy in motion. If we find one, we observe it intensely. We are not judging it. We are not critiquing it. We are not identified with it, anything it's saying. We are simply observing the emotion and allowing it to be. Again, even saying, and I say this now, I love you, thank you for coming up. I offer no resistance. And in the result, the emotion passes extremely quickly. Before, when I resisted it or wanted it to change, because the goal is being the wish fulfilled, right? It is, but it's a flow thing. I allow whatever to come up, much like water wanting to head towards a waterfall. It will reach its destination, but it may encounter a couple of rocks, and you kind of want to just flow with the rocks. Allow everything to be. Because when you allow it to be, the emotion comes up for a short amount of time. It is not problematic. There is no issue with feeling the emotion. And you will catch yourself in your automatic state very quickly and automatically in most cases, simply by letting the emotion be. Then throughout your day, watch your thoughts. What thoughts are coming up to me? If they are thoughts that aren't from the premise of already being in a loving relationship, they aren't from the premise of thinking loving thoughts, fulfillment-based thoughts, bliss-based thoughts, peace-based thoughts, we let them go. And this will get easier and easier. And the fundamental reason behind that is because you are no longer feeding the beliefs. These thoughts are spawns, offsprings of the belief system. So when we don't identify with the thoughts, the beliefs disappear. And based upon the law, because it no longer exists in mind, it will no longer exist in your external experience, your physical reality. And it is that simple. To disidentify from thoughts that do not serve you, do not align with fulfillment, love, bliss, peace, and to disidentify from any type of suggestions of what an emotion means. Simply doing this, mostly everything will lovingly rearrange itself for you very, very quickly. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the walk and talk in the desert. Have a blessed Tuesday morning.